You have joined me for another, wait for it, review! I know, I'm blowing your mind because it's not like you could have figured that out from reading the title or the thumbnail. Today I will be reviewing Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle is a 2017 American adventure comedy film directed by Jake Kasdan with a screenplay by Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, Scott Rosenberg, and Jeff Pinker from a story by Chris McKenna. It is a sequel to 1995's Jumanji and based on the 1981 children's book of the same name by Chris Ben Ellsberg. Set 21 years after Jumanji, it follows 4 teenagers who are transported into the video game world of Jumanji and play as their chosen characters. Eventually joining another player, they must overcome the game's magical power to win and return home. I'm a huge fan of the original movie, and since Robin Williams' passing, I have begun to treasure it even more. So safe to say I was not happy in the slightest when it was announced they were doing a reboot, which later turned into a sequel. Frankly, a sequel is easier to swallow than a full-blown reboot or remake, as I loathe them. After hearing so many good reviews, I was still hesitant to watch this, but then I finally plucked up the courage to do so, and instantly I was not impressed. I, honest to goodness, hated the first 17 minutes of this movie. I hated the characters, I hated how the children had no respect for their superiors, I hated how one of the girls was making calls in class and all she got was a detention. In my school, if teachers heard or saw a phone, you weren't seeing that again until the end of the day. On top of that, we had a parent who was so paranoid she was screwing up her child for life. These were all small, but I hated each component like crazy. I did, however, really enjoy the principal. He was light but serious, and it was nice. The way the movie introduces the game does feel like it picks up from the end of the first movie, which is nice, but then the game itself is both a like and a dislike for me. I like that we see the game again. I don't like that the game is so manipulative, like it actively wants to suck people into a game where they might die. It makes the game feel more malevolent than it should be. Then the idea that a kid in 1996 is saying, who plays board games anymore? Well, it's 2018 and people still play board games, so that seems like a stupid comment made by a person who just doesn't like anything that involves playing with more than one person. On the flip side, I appreciate and like that the movie comes up with a logical way of switching from game board to video game. There's something more interesting in showing the game as more of a sentient entity, that it has the mind to adapt and alter itself to fit the time or the person. I did find that rather clever. But then the game ends up in the high school basement and it is never explained how it got there. How does a game go from a kid's bedroom where he goes missing to a high school basement? Are you really trying to tell me they didn't clean out the basement for 21 years? Because if so, perhaps health and safety should go and check out the place. As soon as the kids get sucked into the game, the entire mood of the movie changes. It's fun, jovial, and is quite an interesting way of depicting its characters. I think our main actors did a fantastic job at carrying the same qualities and traits from one person to the next, because for each character there are 2 actors, and I think that together they did a really good job at embodying the character. And then of course our older actors not only succeeded at that, but then on top of that representing these game character qualities, which really made everything so entertaining. I love how many video game elements this movie had that felt so on point. From miscellaneous characters that are designed to only speak when spoken to and have only one piece of dialogue to deliver, so all they do is repeat themselves. Also how each area is a level and they really do keep to that theme, so whatever you're facing in that level does not carry on to the next level or scene, and then of course as the movie goes on things have to get more over the top and outrageous, and it makes perfect sense because by the rules of games, the higher the level the more harder and more elaborate things get. Although this movie isn't based on a real live video game, I almost feel like saying Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is the best video game adaptation ever made. Jack Black was the standout for me. I was rolling around laughing every time he opened his mouth. Now, every character is given comedic dialogue and everyone made me laugh, but his were definitely the best. They clearly gave him the best lines, but how could they not? He's playing a pretty popular girl who has been turned into a guy, and the way he performs it was killing my sides in all the right ways. Every character gets to learn or take something away from their avatars that will help them in the real world, and I love that the movie has given them this. Bethany has learned to see beyond herself and beyond her looks. Spencer has learned to not be so scared and to be more assertive. Fridge has learned that knowledge is an asset and how to be a better friend. Martha has learned to be more secure and confident in herself, and Alex probably learned to leave his room and spend less time playing video games. I love that our characters grow. I love how we don't have to question the things their characters do that perhaps aren't in line with their personalities because they are in line with the game characters. I feel some of those aspects are the movie really showing why people love video games, especially where you can create a character. You get to be this other person who has all the qualities you wish you had and live through them. I feel that is mostly found in Martha and Spencer's characters. I think the visuals were lively and exciting. I think the scenery worked great. Unlike the new Tomb Raider movie, I didn't care that the rocks looked fake because this is meant to be a fake world inside a video game, so authentic scenery isn't really a necessity. The score works so well with this movie. I don't feel they used the exact same drum melody as the original movie, but I think they were pretty damn close and it still works. It was great that it was used as a warning when something was about to go down. So many little video game traits to cleverly include. A few characters, when they returned from being dead, did a superhero landing, and I could not resist having a Deadpool moment.
You're gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing.
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Totally impractical. They all do it.
The world of Jumanji looked great, and the way they paid tribute to Robin Williams' character Alan Parrish from the original movie was sweet and touching. Even having Nick Jonas's character say, "It's his home, I'm just living here." It felt like this one piece of dialogue was echoing that the movie knows where it comes from, it knows its place, and it's not trying to steal anything that the original gave us, and I could not have appreciated or been moved by that more. I will say they failed at creating a video game villain. Bobby Cannavale, who plays our villain Russell Van Pelt, felt strange, bizarre, and not remotely threatening. It just felt pointless. I honestly feel that if they removed all the scenes he was in, it wouldn't change the tone or story at all, which just proves how pointless he was and how little was put into his character. But on the bright side, I can say one of my favorite scenes was Karen Gillan's dance fight scene. Firstly, I love how her character is designed to mock and poke fun at female representation in video games, like the old Lara Croft look, so I got a kick out of that, but more importantly, and this moment made me cheer, during this fight scene, she is absolutely destroying these bad guys, and Dwayne Johnson's character comes out to check on her and see how she's doing. In any other movie, this would be the moment the big strong man steps in and brings the fight to an end because he thinks the woman needs help and she can't handle it on her own. In this case, he assesses the situation and gives a sign of, she's got this, and goes back to help the others, leaving Ruby Roundhouse to finish the fight and walk away like a badass. That, ladies and gentlemen, had me applauding like crazy. It was a yes, bitch moment. Overall, crappy first 17 minutes, but the rest is hilarious, fun, pure entertainment that creates something exciting and new while showing respect to the original movie. I do think there are some holes, and it does irritate me that the movie establishes that something occurred between Spencer and Fridge that caused their friendship as kids do end, but by the end of this movie, they are thick as thieves. So I am upset that the movie doesn't attempt to explain why they had a rift or what caused it, and it doesn't really allow them to resolve it, so the newfound friendship does feel just a tad forced. In conclusion, some issues, but mostly I love this movie, and as I said, Jack Black gave me everything I needed and more. I once again thank you for watching this, and kindly ask that if you like this video or like any of my other videos, then please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the absolute world to me because this means the world to me, but nevertheless, thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.